Hey guys, it's Chris Ramsey here, and in this short video I want to tell you how you can make some awesome lifetime commissions. Now I'm not talking about cooking your list and then hoping one day you might make commissions one day. No, I'm talking about monthly recurring commissions that you're going to make every single month, get paid out every 7 days for life. Straight to your bank account, none of this straight to PayPal stuff. This is money that you can use right now. Okay, so how does this work? I've got a launch on October 16th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for WebiWave, my brand new webinar service. Now, I don't say this lightly, but it does sound kind of hypey, so let me go ahead and explain after I say it. Now, WebiWave is going to change how webinars are done. Now, if you'll go and look at the marketing for literally any other webinar service out there, I'm talking about live webinar services, not auto webinars or any of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about live webinars that make sales. But anyway, if you go look at any of the other live webinar services out there, look at their marketing, you're going to find out they are all built for people to hold meetings, not to make sales. And that is a huge issue because the way that those systems are built it's not conducive to actually making a sale. There are a number of reasons why that is. I'm not going to go into all those right now. But it's just a really simple fact. They're not built to make sales. And the fact that, they are really difficult to use, all the bugs and glitches, not to mention dealing with the recordings and replays, things like that, just make the whole thing really difficult to use. And there is a lot of dissatisfaction in the market out there. Just go look up anything about GoToWebinar, go into any of the big Facebook groups, and you'll see people again and again posting about issue after issue after issue with these services because they're not built for us. They're built for people who are corporate, people who sit in their office all day and want to talk to their employees because, the majority of us, we don't have employees. Or if we do, they're probably overseas somewhere. However, when we use webinars, all we're doing is using them to sell. We need a simple solution, and that's what WebiWave does. So let's go ahead and talk about how it's going to make you money. Now, WebiWave is on a recurring structure, so you're going to get paid every single month using or when you promote WebiWave. However, we are not using PayPal on this launch. We are using something called Merchie, which is going to direct deposit money right into your bank account every 7 days. If you're an international promoter or an affiliate, then it'll be every 2 weeks, I think it is. Anyway, so let's talk about how much money you're going to make. Now, it costs $17 a month for the first 500 users, and that is what we're looking to fill up with this launch here. After that, it's automatically going to go to $47 a month. So once we hit that 500 user limit, which we currently have about 480 more of those available, then it'll automatically go to $47 a month, and you'll start making commissions on that. Okay, so you're going to be making 50% commissions on every single sale you make, on every single time they get rebuilt. And this is a service that people are going to want to get in and just keep their accounts for a really long time. I mean, $17 a month for a professional grade webinar service, that is nothing. People are paying $400 plus a month for, tiny little rooms on GoToWebinar. However, one of the cool things about WebiWave is there is no viewer limit, which means $17 a month gets you everything. So it's kind of a no-brainer, Now, I could go on and on about the problems with all these other services, but instead, why don't I just show you what WebiWave does best? Sell. So let me go ahead and switch over to my computer here, and I'll show you how all this works. Okay, so welcome to the inside of WebiWave. Now, we're going to do two things here. First, we're going to create a new webinar, and then I'm going to show you how it works using the nifty little preview tool here. And these are the two most important things inside WebiWave. There's a lot of other stuff you can do with WebiWave, but you'll see basically how it all works. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and click New Webinar, and we're going to go ahead and create a new webinar. This is a really simple process. So we're just going to do webinar for JVs. Going to leave the time the same, and what makes WebiWave different is the fact that we have an actual webinar sales page. Now, instead of just having a single box where you can view the webinar, this kind of changes things up. It's a little bit different than, well, actually not a little bit, it's very different than GoToWebinar, Meeting Burner, or any of those guys have. So let me just go ahead and fill this out, and then I'll show it to you. You can see exactly how it looks. So let's go ahead and add a benefit-driven headline. Discover how to get awesome JVs who promote your stuff. Alright, and I'm just going to pull some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and put my header image in there. going to grab my JVZoo button for the call to action. Now this call to action is actually pretty cool. I'll show you how that works once we're actually inside the webinar. I'm going to get our video embed code. This would be your Google Hangout code if you're doing a live webinar. Otherwise, if you're just creating a replay page, you just put your video embed code here. Okay, go to the next step. Now we're going to work on the registration page. Now we're going to go ahead and just do the same headline here. Discover how to get awesome JVs to promote your stuff. I'm going to go ahead and copy this code here. And notice that we actually have a full editor here, so you don't actually have to use any HTML. However, if you do know HTML, you can do some really, really neat stuff inside our editor with the HTML button. So let's go ahead and create our thank you page URL. Just put WebiWave.com there and create add webinar. Okay, so real quick, let's go ahead and check out the registration page. So this is what the webinar registration page looks like. Very simple, but again, very customizable. You can see we've got the headline here, we've got when the webinar is, and then we've got that bit that we did inside of the editor. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out what the actual webinar looks like. Now this is where things get really, really cool. So let's check this out. Okay, so here we have the preview page. Now, when the people first get there, it'll actually take a couple seconds to go ahead and load up the webinar. If you started yet, or if you have not started yet, you'll see this message: the training is not yet started yet, please wait. And then whenever you're ready, inside the control panel, which I'm not going to pull up here because that'll take up some of your precious time, I'll just go ahead and use the preview function here. So we're going to go and click Start Webinar. And instantly you'll see this pops up for them. Now, if you're using a Google Hangout inside of WebiWave, this would actually be a live presentation, but right now we've just got a YouTube video from one of my recent launches, and we'll just go and leave that there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a nice little question and answer box here. So like I said, since this isn't a live webinar, I can't respond back to the questions, but I'll show you how that works. This is an awesome question. Go ahead and submit that. Now, like I said, if this were a live webinar, then I would be able to respond directly to the person who asked the question. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you where this really, really gets powerful. So when you are ready to sell your product at the end of the webinar, one of the big issues that I've had with using Meeting Burner or GoToWebinar or AnyMeeting or any of those things is you can't give people a link that they can actually click to go to the Buy Now page. Instead, they have to go and type in the address, which is a huge barrier to entry, for at least for me, and I'm sure a lot of you have had the same issue, or maybe not even known it was an issue, but now that you're hearing this, you can see how problematic that would be. So instead, what we've done is we've got a cool little call to action feature here. So watch what happens when I click call to action. Now, as soon as I click this, I'm going to take my hand away from the mouse and just watch what happens. It'll actually display the call to action and automatically scroll the user's screen down to the call to action. Now, this doesn't have to be a Buy Now button. It could be an opt-in form or literally anything that you want, because it's just plain HTML and you can put whatever you want inside of here. And it's really, really great because it actually forces the user's attention to drive down to the call to action. So, they're forced to look at it. They're forced to read whatever you put there. They're forced to click the button, basically. So that is how WebiWave works at its most basic. There's a lot of other things you can do with WebiWave, but this is the simplest way people are going to be using it. Okay, so thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. There's more information down on the rest of this page, and I really look forward to having you promote for WebiWave and make you guys a lot of money. Thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you soon.